Ryan Hughes has been told not to race because of a concussion. He is not in the starting lineup as we get set for the first 250 moto from Washougal, Washington. Off and running. And it's down with the hole shot. 50% of the time in the last 4 motos, he's had the hole shot. The Honda in second place, that's Ezra Lusk. Very to the inside, good position, but Ricky Carmichael in excellent position as well. All the leaders are right there.
Ricky said he wanted to keep an eye on Kevin Windham today. Wyndham's right behind him.
And Tortelli right behind Windham. As the charge up the hill here in our first lap in the first moto of the 250s is underway successfully. Ezra Lusk making the pass on Dowd. Ezra has led 1 race this year. That was at Unadilla. He led 6 laps in the first moto. And then the race fell apart for him. Here comes Ricky Carmichael. The crowd is going crazy. Carmichael moving into second place behind Ezra Lusk. The old riding buddies doing a tag team match, I think, at the end of the season. Rumored, of course, Ricky Carmichael going to Honda, Ezra Lusk taking Carmichael's machine over at Kawasaki.
Marion Tortelli at the tail end of this train out front. And it's a fast train, all the big guns up front. Look at Windham on the outside.
Windham just blitzes by John Dowd.
This is a good track for Kevin. You know, I keep talking about how slippery it is here. That's where Kevin does well. Anytime the surface gets real slick, he's got that great power. Carmichael jumped almost to the bottom of that ski jump. And just, I think Dowd could feel him coming. Said, I don't want to get taken out this early in the race. And wisely pulled up straight right there to let Carmichael through.
One of Dowd's decisions at the end of this season is whether to go back to 125s or not. You might remember that he has not pointed out in 125 Supercross. Here comes Carmichael with the challenge. That whoop section is so great for passing and exciting for the fans. Lusk, Carmichael. Looks like we've got a good battle on our hands here in the 250s. We'll be right back with more exciting action from Washougal after these words. 250 moto. After Mike Brown won the 125 opening moto, we've got a good battle for the lead right now. Carmichael and Ezra Lusk. Carmichael slipping just a little bit, wanted to cut inside on Ezra Lusk, but couldn't quite make it that time. Look at the speed up that hill.
And the roost here really hurts. You see Carmichael trying to stay just to the side, stay out of that roost, also to keep Ezra guessing.
Actually, a 3-way battle now for first place. Wyndham's right behind as Ricky goes bar to bar downhill. Tough move by Ricky Carmichael.
Just muscled his way in there to the inside of Ezra. He's doing it again right there. That almost let Kevin through.
Our third leader here in the early going of our first 250 moto. Kevin Windham putting pressure on Ezra Lusk. He doesn't want to let Carmichael get away.
Ezra getting a little bit wide right there. Thought he had enough of a cushion over Ricky, but found out right about there he didn't. Decides, okay, I'll go wide, try to square it. And then that was interrupted a little bit because he saw that yellow fender of Windham coming down there, so just had to give it up to Carmichael. Now, even though Ezra's riding well, it seems like Carmichael's just inching away, and that's bad news for Windham. So he's really pushing hard to try to follow Ricky up there in a 1-2 battle.
Here comes Windham to the inside. Can't quite make it stick. This time he does. Windham, a nice move on Ezra Lusk. Lusk, after battling a rib and ankle injury, posting 4 consecutive double-digit finishes. He's trying to work himself back into a competitive atmosphere. But Kevin Windham was just...
We know a couple years ago, Jimmy Button won here on the YZ 426. Have you and Tim talked about that at all? That this is a great track for that bike?
Yeah, that bike really suits this track very well with the big uphills and everything. You know, we've worked the tires all day with Bridgestone today, and I've got it working really good. Hopefully we can get it on there.
Our leader continues to be Ricky Carmichael, and Windham is starting to pick up now. He's right in front of Ferry. There you see it. That's the interval. Ferry is knocking on the door for second, but Windham has truly picked up a lot of time on Ricky Carmichael.
Makes me wonder if he's got the stomach problem figured out. Seems like he's riding hard. As soon as we went to that shot of him, he came into that corner, hit a break and bump, the rear end danced around. He's pushing hard, and he's not able to break free from these guys. If anything, Ferry has caught him, and it's going to get tighter.
They round the corner going into the whoops. Always interesting. Carmichael, Windham, Ferry fishtailing all over the place.
He didn't let off, though. You can see these guys, and he wants to stay in contact. Got to learn what lines they're taking, get used to that pace.
Boy, how many riders have we seen slip out right in this area? Dozens. Carmichael could get a challenge next from Windham. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Costly mistakes this year. Look at this. It's tightened up for the lead. The fans, you can hear them roaring. Carmichael and Windham. Windham taking the same line right there as Carmichael. Davey, what do you have?
Chad, you guys are starting to get a lot of pressure from Windham. How's Ricky going to play this?
Hopefully he doesn't worry about him and just focus on the track. Kevin's entering his corner speed really good right now, and I just notified Ricky of that. So maybe he'll pick up on that and start attacking his corners a little bit harder.
Last year at Washougal, Ricky came back from a first lap crash to go from 10th to 2nd in the first moto. Then he went flag to flag, leading all 16 laps in the second moto. Won twice here on 125 as well. Can he hold off Kevin Windham?
Little mistake right there. Look at him just holding that inside. He knows Kevin can get inside him if he leaves any room.
An exciting area as they go through the woods.
Step back in, get away from Kevin. Nice recovery to stay close right here.
Here it comes. Kevin Windham on the inside. Beats him in the whoops. Can he make it to the corner? I think this tremendous crowd is applauding the competition as much as the pass by Windham. Carmichael very popular here, but the crowd was going crazy during that action.
I think they're just excited that somebody has brought it up. Able to challenge just the same way as when McGrath was getting challenged early this season in the Supercross by Ricky. They're seeing something they can't believe.
It's an unusual happening this year because Carmichael has given way to other riders in first motos before this season, but I don't think he's been passed like this before.
Now Kevin's just riding better. He was all over him. Look at the gap he's already opened up, and while Kevin's doing that, Ricky can feel Ferry now.
Here comes Tim Ferry. Boy, that would be something. Two riders passing Ricky Carmichael, then you know he still has stomach problems.
Right now, if he can just stay with Windham, he'll only lose 3 points. If Ferry's able to get around, he'll lose 2 more. 5 points he can't really afford to lose. Watch Windham pick up the front end and touch the wheel right there. A little wheel tap. Hops him 3 in, and then he just stays a little flatter, more on the throttle than Ricky. And Ricky's in the best line. So Kevin's got that section dialed in, and anytime you pass Ricky in a section where he feels like he's faster, he's got to mess up his head a little bit.
Kevin Windham having a very good season despite the fact that he hasn't won an overall. His worst finish was 6th at Redbud, and that was after he threw a chain in the second moto after a second place in the first moto. Kevin Windham's been working hard this year to get back up into the competitive level, and he's had a very consistent season.
See the difference in style between Kevin and Ricky. Kevin is a little bit more finesse, a lot more body English, a lot more throttle control. Ricky just pins it everywhere, and you can't do that on this racetrack. You saw Ferry come out of that corner there a couple of corners ago and get sideways. That's because he tried to get on it a little bit hard. He was over anxious, and that just bites you here on this soil.
Now can Ferry turn the trick on Carmichael? That's what the fans are wondering right now.
He's fast enough, no question about that, but passing him, that's a whole other deal.
Strategy comes into play, even though he gets such great traction on this particular course.
Now, this is the kind of track where moving over a couple of inches or hitting that exact line you want to hit within a couple of inches is critical. That's what Kevin is so skilled at. That little front end twitch right there. You just have to get comfortable with the fact that at high speed, the bike's going to do a lot of that every lap here.
Boy, that's a great shot, too, to see the angles and the footwork.
Going to be a shootout there. Look how far forward Kevin was to that sweeper. Almost going over the handlebars right there. Charging hard because although he was able to get around Ricky, he hasn't been able to drop him.
Windham's won one other moto. That was the second moto at Budds Creek this year. And then you have to go all the way back to Hangtown Classic of last year, where Windham won a moto. He did not win the overall at that time, though. Villeman took second in both motos to edge out Windham and Carmichael for the overall. So anything can happen. Ricky, a steady second, but Windham has not made a mistake.
Ricky knows that Kevin's one of those kind of guys that doesn't need a whole bunch of moto wins to be dangerous. He's one of those guys that when you line up next to him on the starting line, he can win anywhere, any day. Might even be a little bit more versatile than Ricky. A little bit better on hard-packed slick, a little bit better in the mud.
Barry continues in third. Let's go back down to Davey Combs.
Guy Sebastian Tortelli's not the only Honda rider who suffered a head injury in the last 7 days. Ryan Hughes crashed on Wednesday out at Glen Helen. He went down on his head and his shoulder, went to the doctor, decided to take a little time off. He definitely has a concussion. No word when Hughes will be back. 2 out of the 3 riders in the Honda camp, they had their bell rung in the last 7 days.
Kevin Windham, though, is concentrating, focusing on every line, as he's coming close to a very, very good day here at Washougal.
This is maybe one of the fastest laps of the race. It's got to be perfect. If he even so much as makes a tiny mistake, that allows Ricky to get a little bit closer, and if he blows the last corner before the whoops, Ricky can get him there. I love the way they have the whoop section placed here.
Look at Ricky, though. He's very close. Kevin Windham makes a little mistake. Number 4 will be right on him.
Look how far forward. All you amateur guys, okay, take a good look. If you think you're far forward, it's probably not that far forward. And it's working. He wants to make sure that front end goes exactly where he wants it, where he means to go, and the back end will just follow.
If Carmichael can pick up just a little bit more space in the wooded area before that whoop section and the checkered flag, boy, we'll see quite a bar-to-bar finish. He's not quite that close, though. Windham, the whoops and the checkers. Nice ride for Kevin Windham. Ricky Carmichael second. And Ferry way out in front of 4th place in 3rd.
Was a solid moto.
Well, I tell you, Davey, that's what I've been waiting on. You know, I've been there. You know, I've been riding good, but nothing clicked like that. You know, I got through lappers well. In the middle part of the race, Ricky kind of caught up to me, but man, I knew that I'd been working hard, and I knew that I could do it, and I just kept my head down and kept riding the Suzuki best I could.
I've seen you get into these high-pressure races before. Sometimes they don't turn out the way they're supposed to, but man, he came back at you. You held him off strong.
Yeah, well, we're looking for a new Kevin Windham right now, and I'm close. I'm about to find him, and you know, it feels good because I've been working hard, and you know, it don't pay off in this sport right away. You know, Ricky's been on top for a long time, and he's still on top, but we're getting close, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season and definitely being strong for the O2 season.
A confident Kevin Windham. Conditioning makes a big difference, doesn't it? Number 4, Ricky Carmichael placing second. Still in good position for the overall. Let's check it out and see how he's feeling.
RC, it was a good pace the whole moto. You look consistent and right in the middle. What happened?
No, I mean, Kevin's riding awesome. He toyed with me out there. I tell you, I was riding as hard as I could, and he beat me. I mean, you know, these guys are getting faster. I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm doing what I usually do, but, you know, I rode hard, and there's nothing I can say.
How's your stomach feel?
Actually, it was good. Today's the first time that it hasn't given me a problem. I'm on some medications for it, and I had no problem. So I am happy about that I'm not busting the gut here, but I'm not too happy with the ride. But, you know, I need to go out and try to do something second moto.
I don't see anybody malfunctioning at the gate. It's sideways now. They'll rev it up. The gate will drop, and we'll be underway with our second 250 moto from Washougal. Morocco once again getting trapped behind, and it's Tim Ferry. Ferry gets the whole shot. Carmichael right there. So is Windham. Villeman in the mix. Ferry Carmichael, Windham, 1, 2, 3. And Windham and Foy.
Well, now we're going to get to see it. Ferry was catching Carmichael and Windham the first moto, lost his goggles. I didn't notice that until after the race. That's a big problem. So he did a good job considering. He said he thought he could have won it. Now he gets a chance.
He's got all the big guns right behind him as Windham moves into third. Hole shots have been a popular thing for Ferry and John Dowd, both on 4 strokes. Dowd on the KTM. Carmichael, though, in a good position. So is Windham. Windham right behind David Windham.
Windham putting in a good first half a lap here, getting around Windham.
He's got 1 win this year. He's picked up his 3rd American AMA 250 win at Mount Morris this season. You might remember he dominated from hole shot to checkers, leading all 16 laps of the first moto of that one.
All right, look at Ferry. Looks excellent right now. He's hitting the lines he wants to hit. No surprises out there. Back end skates out from him a little bit right there, but it doesn't bother him. He's so focused on the line that front wheel needs to hit. And nobody's really pressuring him right now. Usually, when Carmichael gets a second place start, he's all over the guy in the lead. Ferry's been able to put a little gap on it.
Well, one thing about coming into this race with a 48-point lead and 4 races to go for Carmichael, if Kevin Windham won every race and Ricky finished second, Ricky would still win by 24 points. Almost a complete moto.
He's got a comfortable cushion, but then again, so did Travis. So you just never know. And it's dangerous for Ricky right now. Look at that.
Whoa, Windham. A nice move in the corner on Windham.
It was good that he planned ahead right there. He was already looking for that square off move, but Windham got a little swirly out there and made it easier.
Kevin Windham looking for the overall.
This is the part of the season where Ricky needs to be careful, keep doing what he's been doing, and not start to worry about the points too much. Then you start racing not to lose. That changes everything, allows other people in there. That's not what got him here.
Ferry with a 3rd place in the first moto, in case you just tuned in. Carmichael taking 2nd behind Kevin Windham.
Look at this move. See, Windham jumps that braking bump right there into the outside. But you can see Kevin's intentions, but like, where was he going to go? He was just trying to not follow, and because Windham made that mistake, it allowed him right in there. So always plan ahead. The way Pastrana was able to make a move earlier in the 125 class. Still no pressure from Carmichael. He's there.
That kind of surprises me.
Yeah, it's very backing up what he said. This is a fun section. You come out of the woods, wide open on the gas, 3rd gear, and then in the earth.
After a dramatic 125 race, which gave us a new 125 leader, Mike Brown sweeping both motos in 125s, we've got a barn burner starting to take place here in the 250s in the final moto of the day. Tim Ferry, our leader. There's Ricky Carmichael now, starting to step it up even closer. Kevin Windham is back in 3rd, and that's going to be a battle pretty soon.
Ricky just came by our camera so fast. I don't know if I should say on the edge, because I think they always are a little bit on the edge. But Ricky came through there so hard. Look at what he's done to Ferry's lead. It's not there anymore. Ferry can feel it. The crowd's in it. This is what Ricky does to people. It was getting done to him in the beginning of the race. I thought Ferry was for real. He said he thinks he could have won that first moto, and it looked like he was going to win this one. Not now.
He couldn't pull away, number 1, and now he's got RC breathing down his neck. Oh, what a move by Ricky Carmichael right before the whoop section.
That's so aggressive. The ability to put yourself in that position to be able to just get to the inside and force Ferry out like that. Ferry didn't go through there slow. Ricky just never let off.
Now Ricky wants to take away with the lead as Windham has to battle Ferry.
Listen to how hard Ricky's on the power. I wonder if Chad has to put extra safety wire on that throttle grip. He twisted hard.
Well, Carmichael, if he can hold on, will have his 6th straight overall victory. Here's Windham making the move on Ferry. He wants to get up there and put the heat on Ricky Carmichael. Can't afford to let him off the hook and let him get away.
Just like the first moto, everything Ricky did, Windham was able to shadow him, get right up and stay in contact, and then eventually make the move. Watch this pass. Ferry's just going for the main line. Ricky sees an opening, gasses it right up in there. Ferry can feel him coming, has to get his foot out of the way. Take that.
Wow. Now can Windham, though, 2 times in a row, chase down the defending champion?
Pretty brave of Ricky to ride through all that hay. There could have been a chunk still in there. Kevin steered around it. These guys are riding hard. Look at Kevin just going to float over this jump. Watch when he lands. He's so far forward. Look at that. He's charging. It's every point to point is just like coming off the gate. You don't come off the gate, hang off the back. You get over the front end. That's the most aggressive position, and Kevin's in that position a lot.
If Windham hopes to win the overall, he's got to take Carmichael one more time. He's keeping up the speed. Let's check in down the mechanics area with Davey Combs. Davey.
Well, Chad, your engineer, Rick Ash, said you guys want to change some settings. They seem to be working.
Yeah, we changed the front end geometry a little bit, changed the steering characteristics, and that's about the only thing we could do in that shorter time, and hopefully it's working. I really don't know, but he's riding good, and plus he's pissed off.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's also got Kevin Windham in his rearview mirror. As soon as RC goes by Ferry, so does Windham.
Sebastian Tortelli, both suffering the effects of concussions. Tortelli also with a sore shoulder, not running here in the second moto.
See that fan out there on the racetrack getting pictures. I'm thinking he's in the way. Looks like Kevin is just inching up on Ricky. And Ricky's already riding as hard as he can go, or I don't see where he can pick it up anywhere, and Kevin's closing. That's a problem for RC.
I'll never forget one year at Bud's Creek in that big first turn after coming up the hill on the start. A photographer actually got into the corner and got hit by a bike, and I think it was Stanton at the time. Carmichael, Windham, and Ferry. Should be a good finish.
Yeah, that works.
Hardeck with David Bailey and Davey Coombs. Coming to you from Washougal, Washington. The battle for the lead in our final 250 moto is on. Windham was the victor in the first moto. But can he do it twice in one day against Ricky Carmichael, the defending champion? Windham now starting to show a wheel. Oh, Ricky had a good chance there to push out. Now Windham is all over the place looking for a line to pass.
What surprises me is that Ricky looks like he's trying as hard as he can, and Kevin's just going wherever he wants to go on the racetrack. That's not easy.
And he makes it look easy, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
He's in control of this battle right now. I think Ricky can feel that. And he'll be really mad after this moto if he gets passed. He doesn't like to be beaten twice in a row, especially. Yeah, you know, give it to somebody once, but not twice.
While Ricky Carmichael is looking for his 6th consecutive victory on the season to become the only rider in motocross history in the 250s to win 6 consecutive races in back-to-back years. Kevin Windham, on the other hand, he's had a lot of hard work that's put him on the edge of winning this season, but just hasn't quite pulled the trigger on it.
I have a hunch that this is the kind of racetrack that Ricky sort of frowns upon. And nothing wrong with the racetrack itself. It's beautiful, and like I said, if you got a camera out, take a picture. This is beautiful, natural layout, but it's just not bumpy enough. It's not soft enough. It doesn't separate the men from the boys here and there. It's a high-speed, finesse, throttle control type racetrack, and you give the nod there to Kevin Windham.
Let's see what happens in the whoops. Boy, what a hippity-hop for Windham to get into the whoops.
Look at Kevin. Just wherever Ricky goes, he goes somewhere else. He's even going inside of that berm.
Kevin Windham is a different rider right now than we saw earlier in the season. Even though he started off the season doing very well and has had a consistent year. The sparkle in his eye of confidence as we saw him in the post-moto interview after he won the first moto.
He's been needing some of this. Get up in the fight, stay in the fight, get comfortable with that pace out front. Okay, that's what he's doing. Well, that's not so bad. I can do that. He proved it the first moto, and he's doing it again here now. He must be feeling just so much more confidence he's felt on the season. It's not a conditioning thing. Kevin doesn't get tired. He gets nervous and tight. Look at this.
Bar to bar we go. Whoa! The fans have every right to go crazy on this one as Windham makes the pass. Can he make it stick? Here comes Carmichael to the inside. Oh, he slipped out of the tail end. And Windham has the advantage. What a great move by Kevin Windham and a terrific battle between these two riders.
Look at Kevin just float through these sections. Nothing really seems to bother him out there. He never looks out of position or a little bit uncomfortable. Ricky, on the other hand, the bike's fishtailing around here and there, and you can see the extra effort he's putting in to try to match Kevin's pace, and it's just not there today. He tried. Look at Kevin. He got a little bit better run up the hill. Has the inside. That's the way Brown passed Larry Ward. Now watch Ricky. He's not happy about it. He sees an opportunity, goes right for the inside. Kevin just got around him in time to hit that powder berm and stay cleared. Took Ricky a little while to get back up that hill after he lost his momentum. Now the pressure's not there for Kevin.
Wyndham's last motocross win was almost 2 years ago at Binghamton in 1999. He went 1-1 on a Honda at the time. That was his greatest year for motocross in the 250s. He won 4 regular season races with 4 other podiums while taking Albie to the final round at Delmont before the championship was determined. He lost the title by 29 points, but number 14 now in the Suzuki even had a great U.S. GP win against Stefan Everts that same year at Budds Creek. It's good to see him riding with this confidence again.
Look at how beautiful that is. He just skates right into that, does a little wheel tap to jump in.
14 on the Suzuki. Put his name next to Ellis Tripes DeStefano with his 5th 250 motocross victory. Starting to get into some lappers right now. That could make a difference here on the final lap, as Ricky Carmichael is not that far behind.
Little dance back there by Kevin. Didn't really bother him. That could have been a problem. Emig went down that same exact jump a few years ago really hard. It's because you're laid over as you approach that, and there's braking bumps going up.
That brings up the point. Jeff was up here racing on Friday. Entered the amateur races. Had some fun with it. Kevin Windham, though, he's had fun today.
And he's doing it with style. I mean, he looks very comfortable out there.
So Windham is able to gain an edge on Ricky Carmichael as they weed their way through the lapped riders.
Ricky's shaking his head back there, trying to get around.
That's Terlicki out of Oregon.
There's a blue flag, though. That means get out of the way. Here comes the leader. So Kevin, like he said, the first moto, he had no trouble getting through the lap traffic, and he's had none here.
David, could this be a turning point, though, for young Kevin Windham? If with a sweep here in Washougal, he doesn't gain that many points against Ricky Carmichael, but if he should finish the year out with victories, that's meaningful.
It is, and that's just going to give him more confidence going into next season. And, you know, if he could just erase a couple of bad races here and there.
The heel clicker from Kevin.
Of course, Ricky's had his share of bad races as well. All self-inflicted. So the closest guy has been Kevin. And maybe he can start something here. And he hands down beat Ricky, both motos. But I think Millville, the motivation of Carmichael, the intensity, he hates to lose. I don't want to say what Chad said again, but you heard it twice. Ricky does not like to give it up. He doesn't want to let these guys finish the season on a high. He wants to destroy them.
Whoa, hold on, Kevin. He's going through the woods. He's only got one turn and the whoops left before the checkered flag. We've got a kind of parity this year in this series. 5 different winners in 9 races this will be if he can stay upright on the whoops. Look out. Here comes the champ. The checkers for Windham. What a great feeling this has got to be for Kevin Windham, who struggled through a Supercross season. Has had a very consistent motocross season, but his first victory of the year. Ricky Carmichael has some words for Tulicki there.
Windham had it today.
Yeah, he was spot on. You know, what can I say? I rode as hard as I could, and he just beat me. I was making a charge here the last lap, and a lapper held me up quite a bit, and he pulled away. And you know, I don't know if I would have beat him, but I think I would have been a little bit closer. But you can't win them all. I get to go to California and test and try to get the bike a little bit better. And you know, my stomach was feeling good, and it's just a bummer I couldn't win. You know, my body was good, and you know, what do? You can't win them all.
Well, you had an amazing streak. You won 5 races in a row. You were the most consistent rider. You have a huge points lead. 3 races to go. What's going to be your strategy?
Well, I'm looking forward to going to Millville. That's one of my favorite tracks. It's just like my house. I need to do something. I'm not going to keep letting these guys be so close. I gotta figure something out. You know, we're running out of time, and I need to go out of this outdoor season with a bang and regroup for Supercross next year.
Gunning for his 5th title, Ricky Carmichael takes a 2nd overall behind the 1-1 of Kevin Windham. Tim Ferry also on the podium once again. Let's go back down to Davey with our overall winner.
Well, Kevin, it's just now starting to rain here at Washougal. I think that's the only thing that could cool you down. You were on fire all day long.
Well, I tell you, I was, man. This Washougal crowd here was great for sure. And, man, I tell you, we've been working our butts off. And I tell you, it feels good for myself. And I can see it on all the guys' face here, too. All my sponsors like Suzuki and Michelin and No Fear. And Scott up here on the Bevo up here on the scissor lift here. But I tell you, it feels good to be able to put a smile on so many people's faces. It's been a while, and I tell you, it feels good.
Both motos, you were behind Carmichael. Both motos, you ran him down. Not only did you win, but you beat the #1 guy out there. That has to feel very satisfying.
Of course it does, you know, but it's always something, you know. So today, I guess it was a little bit cool, so that's why I won, you know. And there's a lot of people that like to make reasons why I'm not always up here, but I tell you, I hope to change it, and I hope to silence them. Like I say, you know, my bike's working great, and I've been working hard, and you know, you do all you can do, and you make the little steps, and eventually they all pay off, and today it did, and hopefully I can keep them going.
Congratulations, Kevin.
Thanks a lot.
As we see here on the Suzuki point standings, Ricky Carmichael is right on track to winning his 5th outdoor title in a row. But guys like Kevin Windham could break his streak of at least 8 wins every motocross outdoor professional season.
He said, you know what, now that I've won, I don't ever want to lose again. I hate that feeling. And there's a lot of psychological stuff going on between Carmichael and Windham right now.
Well, the Suzuki starting grid has told you who is on the line, and we've got a great day of racing. We're off and running at Washougal. Big, wide left-hand turn into no one's surprise, or maybe to everyone's surprise. Number 14, Windham, up in front. Carmichael in 2nd place. So it's Carmichael and Windham going 2 and 1 respectively, and the fans are turning it up.
Beautiful line of Kevin Windham up into the 1st corner. Just was able to drift wide, protect the inside of the next corner as he headed up the 1st jump. Just laid that thing flat. Looked like James Stewart as he went up to the jump to stay low and get all of that horsepower of that 450 down to the ground. But he's got Carmichael knocking on the door. This is what we all wanted to see right here.
All right, Coach Bailey, if you're Kevin Windham's coach, you tell him to relax and just take it easy. If you're Ricky Carmichael's coach, I guess the word is don't panic.
Yep, if you're Carmichael, be patient. Don't let him go. Keep him in sight. Don't let him get too much confidence going. But, you know, for Windham, just keep having fun. Throw that thing sideways, you know, and have a good time out there. Anchor yourself into a type of psychological situation to where it's what you do during the week. And these guys pitch the bike sideways over the jumps during the week and have a little bit more fun out there. They need to do that to the race, too, if it helps them relax and ride to their potential. You see, pretty much neck and neck until they got into 3rd gear. Kevin started to pull Ricky a little bit. That's his bike right there.
Kevin Windham, number 14 out of Centerville, Mississippi, is your leader here in Moto number 1, the 250 class. Number 4, Ricky Carmichael.
So important at this track because everyone runs about the same pace. You look at the lap times and they're very close compared to other tracks that are a lot rougher, take a little bit more skill and thought and timing and line choice. Here it's like car racing a little bit more.
There's your running order. Back to Washougal in just a moment. For Ezra Last, David, a little under the weather, and this track is not that forgiving, but Kevin Windham making it look easy. Your leader here in Moto number 1. You talked about his style, how easy it makes it look. This guy you know, at the start of the show, we said for Ricky Carmichael, he's got to keep in contact with him visually. And right now, unless he's got Superman vision, Carmichael is not going to be seeing him.
Wow, look at this. You know, he's got to look way over another part of the track to see him.
Back to Washougal in just a moment. And welcome back to Washougal, Washington, the Scott USA.
Ferry paid the price for it. He needed to be leaning over a little bit more right there, but I don't think he expected Ferry to cut it that sharp. And Kevin, his lines have been incredible, just like I figured he would be able to do here in Washougal, master of lines. But he's just so graceful, Todd. I mean, everything he does is so fluid and so pretty. He's coming around to the checkered flag right now. It'll be 3 in a row.
Kevin Windham making his way through the majestic conifers of the Pacific Northwest. And what a beautiful backdrop for the winner in Moto #1. So we talk about streaks. We talk about Ricky Carmichael's streak. Folks, Kevin Windham is on a streak of his...
Well, guys, Kevin Windham making it 3 in a row, breaking Ricky's streak and keeping his own rolling. Before the race, Ricky said the 4-stroke's going to be a big advantage here. Is it the 4-stroke? Is it Kevin Windham?
Well, I'd like to say it was Kevin Windham, but I mean, I can't take anything away from all my sponsors who have been working unbelievably, you know, to get this Honda 450 up there. Factory Connection, Honda, No Fear, Lee Dungaree jeans, Alpine Star boots, Rye helmets, Spy goggles, Michelin tires, One Industry Graphics, Renthal bars, and they've been working their butts off getting me up here, and it feels good. And I don't want anybody to take anything away from that. You know, if the 450 was always better than everybody would ride it all the time. You know, it's one hell of a bike, but let's race whatever we want and leave the race into the track, you know, because you won't hear me up here if someone says, oh, this track is definitely a 250 track. I'm not going to be up here going, well, yeah, hey, my 450 just wasn't working today, you know. I feel like it's great everywhere, so I'm going to stick with it, hopefully in Supercross next year, too.
Right on, great job. We'll see you in Moto 2.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you, Cameron. Congratulations to Kevin. David, we talked about on the way over here, Supercross this year is going to be very interesting when you mix in Kevin Windham. Upcoming races, Millville, Minnesota, August 16, 17, Binghamton, New York, 23 and 24 of August, and we close out the month at Delmont, Pennsylvania, August 29th and 30th. Well, as the track gets final preparation for Moto #2, let's send it back down to the podium where Cameron Steele is talking to 2nd and 3rd.
Well, Ricky, I don't know. It's been a long time since you've lost, and 3 races in a row seems like it may never have happened to Ricky Carmichael, but I heard you say when you came up here you got stung by a bee. What happened?
I don't know. I was behind Kevin there, and I was within striking distance, and man, I got a bee flew like right in my goggle and the nose part and was stinging the crap out of me. But you know what? I'm trying my hardest. Kevin's riding really good, and I didn't have nothing for him. But gonna keep working hard, and try to beat him, try to get that overall, man.
This is Moto #2 from Washougal. Kevin Windham got the first victory. Let's see, David, if he can put this one to bed.
He doesn't get the start this time. It's a good start, but it looked like Kyle Lewis stole it from him. Heath Voss in there too, and Nick Way on a 250. Amazing. He was able to get that kind of a jump on all the factory riders.
So the Yamaha's certainly got a chewing out after. They're sitting in 2nd and 3rd right now, but it's number 23, the Michael Jordan of motocross. Kyle Lewis out in front, and Lewis looking very sharp. But on the outside, there's number 14, Kevin Windham. Look at that move he puts on him.
Tried to. It's a good idea anyway, but Nick's just a little too clever for that. He's not going to give it up that easy. And Kevin's smart, man. You got to attack right now. That's what made McGrath so impressive in Supercross, and Ricky so impressive all these years, and now James Stewart, as they attack immediately. They don't let riders settle in and get comfortable before they attack.
Well, he gets him this time. Windham gets around Nick Way, and now it is Kyle Lewis in front, Kevin Windham, and looks like Wyndham's coming up fast. Lewis is your leader, Kevin Windham in 2nd, Nick Way sits in 3rd.
Like Lewis did a little wave at the fans, or somebody he might, oh, that could have been ugly. He's waving at the crowd as he went off that jump, lost his focus, made a mistake, and he's now not in the lead. So that's what you get for waving at the fans a little too early.
This is Bubba-esque. Kevin Windham was poor on the start, having been back in the pack and not what he's accustomed to. And look at the lines. You talked about his beautiful lines out here through the trees. He is just flying through the shadows.
Well, he took a little bit of a risk going out way out wide like that in front of Kyle, but he just shot out of that outside line and put another couple bike links on him. Kyle he's going to get a lesson right here how to go fast at Washougal. He thought he rode well here last year. He did. He's up front now, but about another lap and a half, he's not going to see Kevin anymore.
Kevin Windham, the shadow assassin, and Ricky Carmichael, number 4, changes his gear. So it looks like the Fox Jinx is out. He's off the orange stuff, got the new stuff going now, but he is sitting in 8th place and trying to make a move to get back up to catch up with Kevin Windham.
Oh, he's working his way through the pack pretty nice. Same thing he did at Unadilla. Look at him trying to get around Voss. He couldn't, no opening on the inside, so instead of waiting right there, he's like, forget it, I'm going to the outside. He's always at work, making the riders in front of him think. And he got really quickly up into 2nd place at Unadilla from a terrible start. I mean, coming around the first corner, he was about 14th, and he was in 2nd immediately. So if he doesn't do that here, Kevin's gone again, and I have a feeling he may just be gone anyway, even if Ricky was in 2nd.
He wants to be on that podium, but he's in danger right now as he's dropped all the way back, got a 2nd in moto number 1. Meanwhile, Kevin Windham is all but checked out.
And you know the funny thing, when you watch Kevin here, you know, besides the fact that his form is so precise and he rides so far forward and all of that, he sits down a lot. And that's one of the misconceptions about his style. A lot of people go, oh, Kevin stands up a lot. You know, he doesn't. He's sitting down a lot right here to hook up. Ricky making a pass right there. And, man, I just want to take a second and say how impressed I am with Roncada bouncing back from, you know, a bad finish in Red Bud, but he's right back to the kind of performances he put into Bud's Creek, running a fast pace.
And welcome back to Washougal. We're in the final moments of moto number 2, and it has been the Kevin Windham show. Windham may get the keys to the city, but right now he's looking for the overall, and he is the leader, and he's all the way gone.
He railed that right-hand berm right there, and those shadows, so perfect. He bounced out of the berm into the next corner.
Well, this should be fun. They battled through Supercross Series all the way down to Las Vegas. This is Carmichael and Reed. Reed number 22 on the Yamaha, Carmichael number 4 on the Honda. Not the best of friends, but they show each other respect, and this time Ricky Carmichael just takes what he thinks is his.
He was making so damn much noise back there. I think he intimidated Chad. His elbow was touching his knee. He was so wide open on the gas. Gets rid of a couple tear-offs. All right. I could go even faster now, Chad, now that I can see. Yeah, I don't think Chad's going to let him go. This is going to be a good fight. It's been a while since it's been this late in the race.
Stefan Roncada has really fallen off the pace. But as we talk about streaks, which are normally reserved for Ricky Carmichael and James Stewart, let's talk about the streak that looks to be apparent for Kevin Windham. This could be 4 straight.
How perfect. I mean, every line he's got just crosses over a slick spot. He's making his own racetrack. Watch this. Just lays it over. Beautiful. I mean, I can't, when I'm talking about Stewart in the 125 shows, and it's hard for me not to overdo it, you know? And you can't blame me for what he's doing out there. Kevin is the same. It's unbelievable. Look at the aggression of Ricky Carmichael. When he lands right here, he is so pinned, leg out, ready for the corner, going out. He was either going to make that pass or bump Chad out of the way. That was a commitment right there. Chad knew it, just had to let off.
Right now, let's send it down to the sidelines and Cameron Steele for another report.
You said before earlier in the season, when Kevin gets in his groove, things will be going. Is he in his groove now, or is there more to come?
No, he's coming into terms with the bike and the power delivery, and you just got to be real smooth, and which Kevin is real good at being smooth corner to corner, and so he's only going to get faster as the year goes on.
Happy days in the Kevin Windham pits.
Yes, sir.
I think that, you know, besides getting smoother and getting more used to everything, more comfortable with being back up front, and the crowd, and all the things that go along with winning, the responsibilities, the extra press stuff, the confidence level that he's going to have from, you know, yeah, he won Unadilla, that was one day. Like Roncada at Bud's Creek, even he told me, he goes, you know, I saw what you wrote about me. I wasn't mad because I was telling people the same thing. Hey, that was just one day. But this is another day, and he's doing it again. Another look at his pass on Kyle Lewis on the first lap. Goes right around it, makes it look easy, and he has been putting seconds on the entire field ever since.
Well, it's the
cruise
final
control now.
You're right. It's the final lap for Kevin Windham. There he's standing up just a little bit, but he's back into his rider position, and he's probably wondering, where is everyone? He has absolutely run away with this race. Kyle Lewis got a great start, give him credit, but shortly thereafter, Kevin Windham came through the trees and took the lead and has not looked back, except just to find out if he's all by himself here in Washougal, Washington, for the Scott USA Nationals. So Kevin Windham continues his streak, make it 4 in a row, and Windham, as Ricky Carmichael finally comes into view, Kevin Windham finally sees some competition. Carmichael unable to close the gap at the very end, and Kevin Windham will pick up another victory. Ricky Carmichael stung by a B in Moto number 1 and stung by Kevin Windham for the overall. As we look at the Honda official results, it's Windham, Carmichael, and Chad Reed, your top 3. David Villeman moves up to 6th. Nick Way settles for 8th, followed by Larry Ward. Well, what a great day in Washougal, Washington, especially if you're in the Kevin Windham camp. For Ricky Carmichael, it might be back to the drawing board with 2 weeks off. Right now, let's send it down to Cameron Steele, who's with RC.
Well, Ricky, a second-place hard-fought battle with Chad Reed there, but I want to ask you, I mean, I can see your face is swelling. You talked about the bee stings. Are you allergic?
Yeah, I'm allergic to them. Any kind of bites like that, I just swell up. But, man, no excuses. Kevin rode good. I got a bad start and had to work up through the way and then got behind Chad and working to try to get by him. And finally I did. It took me a little long to get by him, and maybe I could have closed him. But I tell you, man, Kevin is just riding unreal. Looking forward to going to Millville. It could be a little more even playing ground, and I really like that track. And I like this track. I just got beat, and got to pick it up.
Well, great ride, Ricky. We look forward to the battle when we get back east.
Thanks a lot. You know, I just got to thank Honda, Dunlop, Fox, Oakley, everybody that's helped me get up here, man. It's this is what it's about, you know, battling it out like that, and you know, trying, and it makes it that more gratifying if you can win a championship with good guys in it.
All right, thank you very much, Ricky Carmichael. Gracious.
Well, 4 moto wins in a row. Kevin Windham, K-Dub in the house. I guess it takes a little while to get your momentum going on a comeback. It looks like the freight train is rolling, or should I say the 450 is rolling.
Absolutely, man. That thing was working incredible today. And all my sponsors, everybody just been staying with me, and I really appreciate it. And it's been, I keep referring to it, but man, I'm just having the time of my life, and it's such a good time to be back, and it feels incredible. I'm on top of the world.
Yeah, you haven't lost the moto since you cut your hair, so I think you'll be keeping it high and tight for a while, eh?
Definitely, you know, I don't know what it is, and that probably don't have much to do with it, but if it works, it works. I'm not going to change a good thing, you know.
Run with it. Great job today, Kevin. It's fun watching you ride.
Thanks a lot. It's fun doing it. It's fun doing it.
All right, thank you, Kevin Windham. Next time you go for a cleanup, why don't you take Cameron Steele along with you? So on behalf of the champ, David Bailey, and my good friend, Cameron Steele, I'm Todd Harris saying so long. We'll see you next time. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. So long, everybody, from Washougal, Washington.